Ottawa's new music, CKDJ 107.9. You're here with the Morning Drip, and I am the Jman. I'm here with Sean. I'm also here lined up with a musician by the name of Anthony Carrier, who has an extraordinary story to tell with regards to how he got set up, how he got started, as well as what he's going to be doing in the future coming up. Anthony, welcome to the Morning Drip, and how are you?
I'm not too bad, Justin. Thanks for having me on the show. How you doing, Sean? Pleasure to meet you. And here we are once again, Justin. I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a pleasure. Anthony, for people who haven't tuned in or haven't heard you, you are building quite the following on your Facebook page as well as YouTube. How did you get started? I know we've discussed it before, but just to give a little bit of a backstory, tell me how you got started, where you came from, and what we're looking at going forward.
Well, with Facebook, about a year ago, I started promoting myself that I was going to begin recording. Mm-hmm. And I started building the odd group, a music group, and I got a comedy page and a few other things. And then I eventually I ended up where I am now, into my new apartment, and built myself a small home studio. Mm-hmm. And back in January, I recorded my first song, Like a Satellite, which you picked up and put on the air, and I think it's spun a few times. Mm-hmm. We had that one interview. And then I since recorded a couple other songs. One I released, which is, I guess you're going to play today, is Perfect Timing. And YouTube, I built up a small subscribed family channel, I guess as they call it, and done some success with, Perfect Timing's got nearly 3,000 streams. Like a Satellite has about 2,000, and that's about it. I'd like to go in the studio and work on other projects. I'm working on here, but vocals I like to go in other projects and to go into a professional studio, but financial restraints are what they are, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just what motivated, what was the motivation and the key factor for getting you into music? I mean, you've always had a passion for it, but looking back, you said you're a New Brunswick native, you have traveled across the country. Tell us about life pre-music for you.
Well, I've been playing music for 25 years as a traveling musician, or a traveling busker, as you would call it. And I've wrote a lot of poetry over the years, here and there, stops along the way, you know what I mean? Different things that happen in life and stuff. And over the course of 25 years of life experiences, and I've always wanted to record. I tried to record 10 years ago. I wrote a song. They said it was way too long. It was like 11 minutes. It was more than one song in one, right? But anyway, I got here and I started to learn a little bit about marketing. I watched videos on marketing, on how to record. I'm still not an engineer by far. And there's so many things whenever I do want to do a song. There's like so many things I want to put into it. To go in the studio, it costs a lot of money and it's hard to do. But it's all something I wanted to do.
Yeah, no, and that's, and like I said, everybody has a starting point. Even Sean and I, we have a starting point as well, and it only goes uphill. So, I mean, as Sean, as you can attest to that, right? So,
yeah, and going off of that, you said you've been performing for 25 odd years. Well, who are some of the artists that have been inspiring you over that time, and creating? Helping you create your sound?
My sound, the songs I would listen to, I started off as growing up in the 80s, 90s, right? So back then it was Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, and stuff like that. And then moving up into the 90s would have been Matchbox 20, Goo Goo Dolls. Pink Floyd was always an influence, you know what I mean? Those kind of songs, that was my favorite band, but I mean, that kind of thing. Pop rock, I guess you would call it. Right now I go busking, and that's what I play. I play slide, I play name, I play 3 a.m., Unwell, stuff like that. That's my sound, I guess. I can play lead guitar, I can play my keyboards a bit, but I'm more of a rhythm every now and then I try singing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I play along with a CD track kind of thing. Sometimes I take it out and try and sing, and sometimes it comes out pretty good. Sometimes it's like, and then you told me nobody likes their own voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, it's just remarkable some of the stuff you put out. We have aired your song "Like a Satellite" before, and Sean did hear it as well, and he even said, he's like, you know what, this could be something I could get behind, So you've got two of us convinced.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of that '90s, as you called it.
Aired back in January for "Like a Satellite." It was like. The wrong version of it, but anyway, It doesn't matter. It is what it is right now. Even that song, I need to go into a studio and re-record it, because the reason I didn't want to play it again is because everybody says the vocals don't come through very well.
Yeah.
You can't hear the vocals, so in the mix, and whenever I did release it, I was so I just want to get this out. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I was so sick of it. I'm not an engineer. And for a song that you're going to play today, perfect timing, was kind of like the timing is off. It was supposed to be a Valentine's Day gift, but it ended up on the 15th. So it didn't work out and stuff. But anyway, but
the fact of the matter is,
the song is out there, and I still want to do it. Maybe to promote myself. Maybe somebody can hear it. Maybe somebody will pick it up. You know what I mean? Or maybe a small label will say, look, we'll get behind them and give them a shot. You know what I mean?
But that's the way you're going with it. I mean, you're getting the views, you're getting the subscriptions, and all that. So stay tuned, folks. We do have more of Anthony Carrier coming up as well to find out where he plans on going from here, and with that, his song coming up. So stay tuned. We do have a lot more great hits coming up. Ottawa's new music, CKDJ 107.9. That was cut off by Goodbye Honolulu from their single Cut Off. You are here with the Jman, Sean, and I want to welcome back Anthony Carrier, who is our guest, talking about his songs that he has released, a bit of his journey. Anthony, thank you once again for coming in. And where do you see everything going for you over the next like maybe year, 2 years?
Sure, that is. Thanks for having me back on the show again. And as where I'll be in a year or two, nobody really knows that. We all want to be. I'll take this from Mr. Jones and Fred Durst says we all want to be big stars, but we don't know how and we don't know when. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know how it's going to come about. Little by little, climb that hill, like you said, and keep recording some stuff at home, keep promoting on Facebook and YouTube, and getting lucky breaks like I did with you and on your show at CKDJ 107.9. That's all I can say. Little by little, climb that hill.
Yeah, and do you have like any other songs that are in the works?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, I do. I have. There's Blowing a Kiss that I'm working on. So I got enough material for a full album, so little by little I'm plugging away at it. I'm not an engineer. I could really use some help. Maybe if there's a small label out there who would want to pick me up and help me out in the studio and promotion, because there's just so much work for one person to do. Promoting, recording, engineering, writing. It's it's a tedious thing.
Yeah, no, and that's basically it. You got to keep trucking, you got to keep pushing, and you got to kind of keep putting things out marketing wise and everything. Sean, do you have anything you'd like to add or put forward?
Yeah, I was going to say that, with an album, there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and it is a lot more than just, playing the songs and then just throwing it on a CD. But how close would you say you are at the moment to having a plan in place for a full album?
I have probably the lyrics, you know what I mean, to do it. I'm working on programming bass and drums here and there. I'm not really a drummer, and I'm a complete bass, but I'm not really a bassist. I'm not an engineer. And for me to really do what I want, I would like to have studio time where I can just go in Not necessarily just keep.
Demo site's currently set up for the Port of Seattle. I'll switch it this afternoon for the California State demo.
Awesome.
Was it just those two?
I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what happened there. But anyway.
And then other than that, I'm helping out with the Carpool 2.0. Just
We have audio coming in that I don't know where it's coming from.
Anyway, so
Okay.
Seems to be going now.
Yeah.
So it's or maybe even collaboration if I can get people to see that COVID-19 is starting to die out, and nobody wanted to get together and jam and stuff like that. But I'm sure there's other musicians in there. I got a full studio here to record. I don't need a studio. But if I could have other, if I can hook up with other musicians to come into my place and who have their engineering talents and their musical talents to collaborate and put stuff together. There's so many things I want to do when I do a song. Even Perfect Timing didn't have everything I wanted to put into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And speaking of perfect timing, Anthony, I do want to thank you very much for being part of the Morning Drip. And I understand you have a song that you have given me to play. Give her away, buddy. Intro the song.
Well, yeah, it is Perfect Timing. It was released for Valentine's Day, and this is Perfect Timing on CKDJ 107.9 FM, Ottawa's new music. Please enjoy.
Perfect square with all the right angles. Well, I just wanna steer there. The hair all entangled and flowing like our nation's banner. Go ahead, no, I just wanna be the one to take sweet breath away. Oh, hey, my teeth are little of this and that, oh geez, everything in between, you know what I mean. Oh, the sweetest cookie cream. You know, without perfect timing, there'd be no perfect rhyming. There'd be no perfect stars right around a shiny limo car. There'd be no guys like me trying to kiss perfect girls like Lee in the bars. Oh, hey, there'd be none of them jewelry makers selling none of those diamond rings. There'd be nobody telling the wedding songs there, perfect song to sing. There'd be no best man, there'd be no bridesmaid, there'd be no bouquet for the perfect girl to wipe her teardrops away. Trying to open up automatic doors. There'd be no ring bearer, there'd be no flower girl, there'd be no reason to sing or fly her